The beginning. When the world feels gray, you know that feeling. That tightness in your chest when you look around and everything just feels gray. When your dreams feel too big for your circumstances, and the future looks like a closed door. That was the air 12-year-old Marcus breathed every single day. His walk to school was a daily ritual of longing. He'd stop every single morning and press his hands against the cold glass of Harrison's art supply store. Inside, the world was an explosion of color tubes of crimson, cobalt, gold, and emerald, lined up like promises under the bright lights. To Marcus, they weren't just paints, they were fragments of a life he couldn't touch, symbols of a self he wasn't sure he was allowed to become. His dream was born from a single moment of unexpected beauty, a vast mural of a night sky on a forgotten building downtown. The stars weren't just painted, they seemed to hum with light. The blues and purples of the sky felt deep enough to fall into. In that moment, something cracked open inside him. A voice whispered, "You could do that. You could make people feel this." But reality was a constant, heavy blanket. Money was a ghost in their home always talked about, never seen. His mother's exhaustion was a physical presence, a sigh that filled their small apartment. Asking for paints felt like asking for a piece of the moon. So he learned to translate his bursting heart into the only language he had, pencil on scrap. His bedroom walls became a testament to a world of color, built entirely in shades of gray. The vibrant dream lived fiercely inside a monochrome life. The friction, when they don't understand existing in a space that doesn't understand your inner world, is its own kind of loneliness. At school, Marcus lived in a different dimension. While conversations swirled around him about things that felt trivial, his mind was tracking the way storm clouds gathered, or how sunset bled orange into purple. And then there was Derek. Not a villain in a storybook, but a manifestation of that crushing pressure to conform. Derek's laughter was a wall, his teasing a constant reminder. Your passion is weird. Your sensitivity is weakness. Your dream is a joke. The confrontation on the playground wasn't about a drawing. It was about dignity. When Derek snatched his sketch, a delicate study of twilight clouds, Marcus felt the familiar heat of shame rise. But then, something else rose too, a defiant, clear knowing. This was a battle for his very soul. He didn't fight with fists. He fought with truth. Looking up at Derek, he didn't see a bully. He saw a mirror of the doubt he fought within himself. His voice quiet but iron strong. But every time you try to bury my dream, you're just packing the soil tighter around a seed. I'm going to bloom anyway. And I'll remember you taught me how to be resilient. The silence that followed was more powerful than any laugh. In claiming his right to dream, Marcus had disarmed the attack. He picked up his crumpled drawing. The creases weren't ruins, they were proof of survival. The turning point, the crack where the light gets in hope, often doesn't knock. It simply leaves a door ajar on a day you're walking by, burdened by the rain and your own thoughts. The open door to the old community center art room was an invitation Marcus never expected to receive. Inside was a sanctuary. The smell of linseed oil and turpentine was the smell of potential. And there was Mr. Chenaman, whose eyes held no judgment, only a deep, patient seeing. He didn't see a poor kid. He saw a burning heart. He showed Marcus the closet of forgotten supplies and offered not charity but a sacred contract. "I will give you the tools," he said. "You give me your commitment, and you must promise to one day hold the door open for someone else, just as I am holding it for you." It was more than a lesson in painting. It was permission to exist fully. In that room, Marcus learned that the sky wasn't just blue, it was a million shades of feeling. He learned that a mistake was just the universe asking, "What else could this be?" He learned that creation is an act of courage, of taking the chaos inside and giving it form. His bedroom transformed. The gray pencil dreams exploded into vibrant, messy, glorious color. His mother's tired eyes would find him, covered in paint, and for a moment her weariness would lift, replaced by an awe that said, "You are making magic." The crucible proving it to yourself, the school's art showcase announcement wasn't just a contest. It was a question the universe was asking him. Do you believe in your own voice enough to share it with everyone? The painting he conceived, Dreams in the Dark, was his answer. It wasn't just a night sky. It was a map of the interior landscape of anyone who has ever felt lost. The deep layered blues were the depth of feeling. The countless stars were the fragmented sparks of hope we all carry. The brilliant shooting star was the defiant forward motion of a dream in flight. For a month, he poured every ounce of his frustration, his hope, and his hard-won skill onto that canvas. This was the work of proving it to himself. When he finished, Mr. Chen's simple words, "I am proud of you," landed with the weight of a blessing. He was no longer just a kid who wanted to paint. He was an artist who had painted. The validation, when the world sees you, the showcase was a sea of nervous energy. Standing there, Marcus felt terrifyingly visible. The same fear whispered, what if they still don't see it? What if they still don't get it? Not with a sneer, but with hesitant eyes. The painting had done what Marcus's words alone could not. It built the bridge. It's really good, Derek said, the apology unspoken but clear in his tone. Sometimes the people who challenge us the most are just waiting for us to prove that our truth is unshakable. When his name was called as the winner, the applause wasn't just noise. It was an acknowledgement. It was the sound of a locked door swinging open. On that stage, holding the microphone, he spoke not from a script, but from a soul that had been through the fire. This is for anyone who has ever been told their dream is the wrong size or the wrong shape or the wrong color, he said, his voice echoing in the quiet gym. Your dream is yours. It is valid. The world needs the particular light that only you carry. Don't let them convince you to turn it off. The tears on his mother's face, the pride in Mr. Chen's eyes, this was the victory. Not the prize, but the profound feeling of being truly seen. The promise fulfilled. Your light is a lighthouse years later. The mural on the school wall is more than paint on brick. It's a beacon. Marcus, now headed to art school on a scholarship, stands before it. The journey didn't end with that trophy. It began. He kept his promise to Mr. Chen. His Paint Your Sky program isn't about creating artists. It's about handing mirrors to young people so they can see their own worth reflected back. He answers letters from frustrated dreamers everywhere, and his message is always the same. Your frustration is not a sign you're on the wrong path. It is the friction of a dream that is too powerful to stay quiet. Your unique pain, your specific struggle, contains the seed of your unique gift. The world that feels gray is waiting for the color only you can bring. Don't hide your spectrum. Don't mute your melody. Your breakdown is not your identity. Your art, in whatever form it takes, is. Pick up your brush, your pen, your instrument, your courage. Start where you are. Use what you have. The first step in painting a new sky is daring to look up and imagine it.